we are starting here. Let's take a look at the champions. And yeah, we'll go from there. All right, so Tatura Ram High. This is I guess the fusion champion before the one we're in right now. Solar Ray attacks on enemy, 80% chance. Well, 100% chance of decreased accuracy. He's going to use that a lot. That's going to be really good for us. We then have place block debuffs and 60% increased defense on all allies for 2 turns. It's amazing. 3-turn cooldown. We then have Otherworld Breach. Attacks all enemies, place a perfect veil buff on all allies except this champion for 2 turns. Also place a shield buff on this champion for 2 turns equal to 20% of the damage inflicted. We've got the cooldown of 4, a little bit more damage in there. When attack reflects 30% of the damage this champion receives back to the attacker. Also has a 30% chance of placing a freeze debuff on the attacker for 1 turn. That is going to come in very handy when we get into the higher levels and they got some like crazy defense. Like very, very handy. And then he's going to be our lead right here. So increase ally defense in Doom Tower battles by 35%. Now, normally we'd have had Sigmund as the 40% lead, but since we got Lydia's going to do. Actually, let's take a look at the stats. So Lydia is going to do the strengthen, the decreased defense, and weaken. So it's pretty good on that end. We got really good stats on this guy. Main thing we really need for this guy is to get him up to like 230 speed. But for right now, yeah, he's fine where he is. Because he's really the only slow person on this team. Alright, next up, under Priest Brogni. Literally one of the best champions there is. Under Priest Brogni. We know his skills here, but just in case you don't, attacks one enemy. Right now, booked, he's got a 55% chance of placing HP burn debuff for 2 turns. I should get that last book in him. I don't need it, but I should get it. 60% is better than 55. We've got attacks all enemies, has a 100% chance when booked of removing 1 random buff from all enemies, 100% chance of removing 1 random debuff from all allies. A lot of people forget that he has a removal on his skill. Increases the value of shield buffs on all allies by 30% of the damage inflicted. Most people pay attention to that, but I very much pay attention to these two here because that's what makes him so good. So good. He's amazing. 3-turn cooldown. So yeah, it's about him being fast. Place a block debuffs. Increase attack 50% on all allies for 2 turns. Also place a shield buff on all allies for 2 turns equal to 30% of this champion's max HP. Shield buff cannot be removed. 3-turn cooldown. Alright, so we brought him back to like a hybrid build. He's not all the way where he used to be when I first got him, which was in that 70 to 80,000. Actually, he was at 80,000 HP. We brought him down to about 40 to 50,000, and then we pumped up his defense. He was pretty good then. For clan boss, then we kind of built him up on the speed. Brought back his attack brought down his attack to about 26. He was at 3,100. And then we brought down his crit damage just a little bit. Wish it was higher, wish we had the gear for it, but we don't right now. So we got a decent amount of resist and accuracy to land, hopefully, some skills. All right. Lydia. Well, we all know how hard, if you've been watching my videos for any length of time, we went hard for her for a couple months there, and she is fantastic. I'm really glad we got her before the Shadowkin Crypt, because I have a feeling once we get to those higher levels, it's going to be a little harder, and we will have to build some people out. Alright, so attacks when enemy has a 100% chance when booked, which she is. We saved books for her. Placing a fear debuff for 1 turn. Has a 100% chance because we booked her of increasing the duration of any poison sensitivity buffs by 1 turn. Passive effect: attacks enemy champions with this skill whenever they place a freeze, stun, fear, true fear, or petrification debuff on an ally, and it's really good. She has lots of chances to do fear, so she's like a control goddess essentially, much like Countess Lix. The number of attacks increased according to how many debuffs are placed at that time. 1 attack for each freeze, stun, fear, true fear, or petrification debuff placed. The first attack will target the attacker, while all extra hits will attack random enemies. Can only attack each enemy once. It's too bad that last piece is there because she could go a lot there if they didn't put that last piece. Alright, attacks all enemies has a 100% chance when booked on a 3-turn cooldown of placing a 60% decrease defense and weaken for 2 turns. Also place a 25% strengthen and increase speed buff on all allies for 2 turns. So she's gonna have everybody rolling really fast. And yeah, you can't go wrong. If you don't have her, get her now. Focus on faction wars, peeps. Attacks one enemy 2 times. First hit has a 100% chance when booked on a 3-turn cooldown of placing a 25% poison debuff for 2 turns. Second hit has a 100% chance when booked of placing a block buffs and block active skills debuff for 2 turns. You cannot go wrong. Alright, so she is stat hungry for sure. Now this is the cool one here. Denies enemy revive attempts. This works even if this champion is dead. If this champion is alive when an enemy is denied, revives all dead allies with 50% HP and 50% turn meter. Grants an extra turn instead if there are no dead allies. If this champion is dead when an enemy revive is denied, revives this champion with 50% HP and 50% turn meter. This skill will ignore block revive. 7-turn cooldown. Wish that was a little less, but yeah, she's already crazy powerful. Increases ally resistance in all arena battles by 100%. We don't use that, but I mean, maybe we'll find a way to use it at some point. Alright, let's take a look at the stats. Ooh, nice. Nice. Really nice. She's a clan boss champion. She enabled me to go 2 for 1 on the clan boss team here, which really helps stabilize my builds. Now, yeah, I just need Valkyrie, kind of finish it off, get that 1 key. Right now we're trending 2 key Ultra Nightmare, 1 key Nightmare, 1 key Brutal, actually 1 key everything else. But yeah, it's great. Alright, so crit rate's nice and high, got a decent amount of crit damage, really good resistance and accuracy. Once resistance is pumped up on Void for the Great Hall, we will have really close to 300 resist as well, so she's really going to be stacked. We got some of the best gear on her. Alright, under Iron Brago here, Molten Pummeling. Attacks when enemy has a 20% chance, booked up to 30% of decreasing the duration of all buffs by 1 turn. This is also important. A lot of people don't realize that he has this, so he can strip buffs. It's quite amazing. Defensive base champion as well. Fearless Charge places 60% increased defense buff on all allies for 3 turns and attacks one enemy. Has a 100% chance when booked of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn. Has a 100% chance of stun debuff for 2 turns instead if the target is under 2 or more buffs. That's actually kind of amazing. 3-turn cooldown there. Alright, next up, Battlestorm. Attacks all enemies. Has a 50 booked up to 75% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 1 turn. Also place a 50% decrease attack debuff on all enemies for 2 turns if Iron Brow goes under an increased defense debuff, which we get from Fearless Charge. Alright, so like his skills just work in conjunction. You hit him with the stun, you bring this in, decrease attack, and then you go to this one, you're rocking and rolling. Increase the defense on all allies by 10% of this champion's defense. This is why Iron Brago is one of the best champions in this game and totally changed my account when I fused him. We then have increased ally defense in Doom Tower battles by 34%. So that's why we have Tatura Ramhide as the lead, because he does 35. So we'll get an extra 35% off of this value here, which means this value is going to be higher as well. I know, just rocking and rolling. All right, so really good HP now. I wish I had 1,000 more defense on him. I just don't have the gear for it. But if I did, I'd put another 1,000 defense on him while maintaining this speed. This is a clan boss speed, so that's why he's a little low for where I would want him to be, but this is a perfect clan boss speed. Wish crit rate was at 100 so he could consistently hit his crit, but he's pretty good on that end. We will get a little bit more crit damage and resistance on him once we do out the Great Hall. But for right now, we got a good crap ton of accuracy, and we should be rocking and rolling. All right, last but not least, Godseeker and Neri, who we just got. Okay, we just pulled her during an event. Ooh, she could use a few extra books heal. So we got attacks one enemy. It heals the ally with the lowest HP by 5% of their max HP. Cannot heal this champion, so that's unfortunate. She is defense based. You know how I love my sustain teams, guys. Build defensive champions. It cannot hurt. Attacks all enemies, heals all allies by 15% of their max HP. Then decreases the duration of all buffs on all enemies by 1 turn and increases the duration of all buffs on all allies by 1 turn. 3-turn cooldown instead of a 4. We've got a plus 20% heal. You gotta get another 2 per, about another 3% on that. So this will be healing at 18% of their max HP. So that's kind of cool. And then revives a dead ally with 50% HP, then fills their turn meter by 50% and resets the cooldown on all their skills. 4-turn cooldown when fully booked. Passive effect is increase the amount of healing allies receive by 10%. If an ally is about to get killed by a fatal hit, preempts that hit and instantly places a revive on death buff on them for 1 turn before the damage is taken. It's amazing. Here. That's why I got her. She's basically an upgraded version, for heals at least, of Sandlash Survivor. Haven't figured out how to get her. Yeah, haven't figured out how to properly put her into my clan boss team. She does work well in 2 setups. One where she just replaces Sandlash, and then one where she's with Sandlash. But yeah, let's get this. All right, we're here, floor 31. Let's, no one really to worry about here, so should be fine. It's really just trying to get through these stages as fast as possible. Here, that is going to be the main worry for us. But yeah, other than that, no, it should be fine. Yeah, it shouldn't be much of an issue here at all. Right, nice. Yeah, Lydia really helps in these. So a lot of the revivers that we're going to face here don't really get a chance to get rolling here. And if they do, you know, it's good that they burn through that skill. We can still, you know, nail down whoever we need to. But yeah, it's a really good thing to have a block revive. If I could build a team of all block revivers, that'd be great. I think that'd be the way I would go. And that might be still a way I'd go. Because I do have at least 3 that I know of. Actually, I have 4 that I know of off the top of my head. So I believe Loria is a block reviver. Obviously, Lydia the Deathsarm. We've got Fanax. We've got Nithri Blood Twin. So that's 4. I can't think of a 5th, but I'm pretty sure I have another one somewhere that I can't remember right now. But yeah, besides Lydia, all the rest of them are not really built well. Not really built at all, actually. And especially not built for the Doom Tower hard. Yeah, so that would be one thing. We'd have to do a massive amount of tuning, speed adjustments, and still getting them the proper stats. Otherwise, if we were wanting to bring them into the hard Doom Tower. But that would be an interesting way to go, because everyone would have the ability to block revive. That'd be a very interesting way to go. And you don't have to worry about a lot of those reviving levels. Especially the ones where, you got multiple revivers. But yeah, you might have to worry about setup if you have all revivers. That's or all block revivers. That's for sure. It'd be an interesting conundrum. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, very interesting conundrum. And these guys have a lot of, every time they take the turn, they're going to gain a lot of health. Yeah, we got to be going at least 2 for 1 here. All right, that's done. Sit down. Let's keep going. And the battle of damage output between Iron Brago and Tura Ramhide is furious. Some levels, Iron Brago holds his own. Some levels, Tura Ramhide just destroys him in damage. So you got tons of speed boosters. You got this could be an interesting team to go up against if I wasn't faster. Yeah, this is much harder when we didn't have speed. Like when we were just in the normal speeds at like 190 to 220 range. Like when everyone was in that range. Now that most of the team is over 250 here, and then we have a speed booster here, it just makes life so much simpler. So a lot of them are running like 300 and some odd plus speed. Just, yeah, it's rocking and rolling at that point. And it should make all of them faster than pretty much any of them in the Doom Tower right now. All right. Ooh, Jess got smashed by Tura Ramhide there. Interesting. That was a pretty fast blowdown. Oh, probably because I have some rares in there, I guess. I guess you can't put as much health on them. had a bunch of buffs removed. I think that was hope. Man. It's a good thing the shield buff cannot be removed. That would hurt a lot. So the major one that we got to worry about here is Ray. She hits like a truck. But she killed herself with how hard she hit. So that just worked out really well for us. And Tatura Ramhide is putting a spanking on Iron Brago in terms of damage output. I guess it helps. I guess it helps that he has to reflect damage. It's like under Priest Brogni here in the clan boss. Like, he's not physically hitting as hard as Iron Brago, but because he has to reflect damage, it just makes life crazy amount of damage. Because of you're reflecting so much damage, and he puts the veils on, he gets everyone to attack him. It's actually kind of a brilliant kit, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, very passive base, but still really good multipliers. I guess he is a high elf, so that's what we should expect from high elves. Alright, so nothing really to worry about here. We're going to do our thing, and we're going to have her in the ground. Alright, so the freeze here, little concerning from whatever that guy's name is. But we should be fine. It just depends on how many abilities, I guess, we're going to have. And if they're faster than us or not. If they are, we are screwed, but very unlikely that anyone in the Doom Towers could be faster than us at this point with the way we have our composition set up. Alright, so we're getting our first taste of Rotos here. Not really liking what I'm seeing, but very much not liking what I'm seeing right now. With the unkillable. This could be interesting. No, we got the veil on, so he can't attack anybody else but Tatura Ramhide, so he is controlled. Alright, so we're sitting down these guys now. Fantastic work here, guys. Once she takes her turn, his turn. Yeah, there we go. Sit down. All right, so we got to worry about the freezes here. Well, I guess she's got some heals. But we're going so fast that they're not really able to keep up with us. All right, perfect. Let's keep going. We got to worry about a little bit. We got to worry about those ladies there, but we should be fine. She does take a few turns before she sets up her big ability. We should be able to hopefully freeze here, provoke her, or something like that. Let's go. Ooh, Kymar, Prince Kymar there. And that's how you need with a seer. You need Prince Kymar and a renegade. Alright, one seer down. She's so dangerous. We're keeping an eye on her. I think she just did her ability, yeah. Didn't hurt us all that much, so that's good. All right. All right, so what do we got here? Well, I guess you got Madame Cerise to set her up, but we should be going pretty fast here, so we should be able to interrupt their rhythm. If we can get our abilities off. All right, so we're starting to take versions of them down. We got hit twice with the karma. And yeah, it didn't really phase us there, so booyah! All right, good work. Love when people die on a reflect damage. All right, keep going. Nothing too much to worry about here. I'll let you guys watch this one. All right, so that was a pretty easy run. Let's keep going. And Tatura Ramhide is kicking Iron Brago's butt. Really giving them the business, I do have to say. All right, so nothing too much to worry about here. I know revivers are usually a thing, But when you have a block or revive, it makes things a little bit easier. When you have block buffs as well, block active skills, obviously makes things a lot easier. So if you can get those things into your team, it makes doing a lot of the Doom Tower content here a lot more streamlined. Obviously, having that block buffs or block active skills on a AoE is pretty cool. You know, any kind of CC that stops them from taking a turn, you're you know, pretty much fired up and ready to go at that point. You can't go wrong. At least we were able to take off 2 of the unkillables here, because that kind of would have sucked on that end. Okay, good. Sit down and sit down. All right, so we are at stage 40. Frost Spider. Let's take a look at the stats here. Oh, we're rocking and rolling with this. This is an interesting setup. Why would I bring... No, so we're not going to bring her in. Let's do this the way it's meant to be. Actually, wait, hold on. What am I talking about? This is not the Nether Spider. Under Priest Brogni. Here you go. Feel free to pause if you need to see the stats a little bit more. Ninja in here for the HP burn. Very important that you have an HP burn here, because that's the only way you can kill the boss. Although I haven't tried to kill the boss by doing a block revive. So that might be possible to do a block revive, but Ninja's so good anyway, I would use him for the boss regardless. Alright, Lydia, fantastic. Really, probably one of the best built champions I've got. And she deserves it. And Godseeker and Neri, new addition to the team. But you can't go wrong with Godseeker and Neri at all. Kinda anywhere. And she's so fast. Alright, let's give it a shot. Alright, so it should be pretty... We haven't put any kind of team... What do they call it? Team presets or anything like that. We're just letting it go auto. Computer is going to do its thing. People you could use in here, anyone who does HP burn, who, you know, has got sustain. If you're having problems, then make sure you do bring in someone who can cleanse debuffs, or bring in someone who can resist. Resist the debuffs, really. Now, how did he get frozen? Oh, I guess the ads on the side. Interesting. So that's a little interesting wrinkle there. Now, block debuffs is obviously a good thing. And we could bring Tatura Ramhide in here and have a little bit of fun. That's for sure. What do we got here? Okay. Now we're rocking and rolling here. Don't see too much of an issue. Yeah, I'm not seeing too much of an issue here whatsoever. Okay, so yeah, we're rocking and rolling here. Once the ads go down, then we can like freely put debuffs on. And yeah, we can kind of just go to town on the boss here. You know, reflect damage is going to be great. HP burn is going to be great. And then just overall, just hitting him going to be great. So you can't go wrong. Yeah, look at that, man. Like really consistent damage kind of from everybody, even like Godseeker. All right, perfect. Yeah, perfect.